Alright, conjugation, a wonderful topic. Okay, so basically what we have here is a situation where, let's take this example right here, okay? Limit x approaches as x approaches 0. Okay, as we do our direct sub, we realize it ends up being square root of 3 minus square root of 3 over 0 equals 0 over 0. Another situation where the answer is hidden. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to unhide the answer, and the problem with this is the difference. Square roots on top, regular polynomial on the bottom. So the square roots is the problem. So how do you get rid of a square root when there is one? Well, we're going to multiply by 1. Okay, y'all heard of that, right? Multiply by 1, or multiply by 2 over 2, or multiply by 10 over 10, or multiply by x over x. You can multiply by any of these because they're all 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a very, very special one, a very, very special one. It's called a conjugate. Conjugate's fairly complex, but it's easy once you understand what it is. All the conjugate is this, the problem term, okay? The problem, there's the problem. You keep the problem exactly the same, except for you flip the problem sign. Okay, so there's your binomial. There's the conjugate. Now we don't even care about the bottom. So watch what happens. First, watch what happens. Don't get scared. Just watch what happens on the bottom. We don't care about it. We just Okay, hold on one second. Let me. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. Let me get back here. Okay, so like I said, the bottom here, in this case, we don't care about it. We care about the problem. That's what we care about. So the problem is going to multiply by the conjugate, but we're just going to kind of window dress it right now. All we're doing is writing it down. There's the problem, and times the conjugate. What we're going to do is we got to FOIL that.
Read, please call 1702. Read, call 1702.
Okay, we've got to FOIL the problem side. We've got to FOIL the top. Now, it really just stinks. It's horrible. It's awful. It's a lot of work. But just look. It's not bad. Okay, once you know what you're doing. So we're going to do a first. So x square root of x plus 3 times square root of x plus 3. Our outer plus the square root of 3 times the square root of x plus 3 minus the inner. Well, actually plus the inner, which ends up being minus because it's negative square root of 3 times square root of x plus 3. And then the last, square root of 3 times negative square root of 3 times positive square root of 3. Let's just go ahead and make that negative square root of 9, just for simplicity, okay? Just so I don't have to write it. So first, outer, inner, last. This is actually not that bad, okay? So it looks bad, but look at these terms right here. Like terms. These are like terms, and they're opposite. So what do? Kwa-cha, kwa-cha. They cancel. And these two, what happens when you multiply something times itself? For example, what is x plus 3 times x plus 3? It's x plus 3 squared. Now you got to look close for this, so I'm going to make sure everybody can see. Okay. There you go. Alright, so I want you to understand x plus 3 times x plus 3 is x plus 3 squared. So the square root of x plus 3 times square root of x plus 3 is going to be the square root of x plus 3 squared. Okay? Those are gone. I'm left with the square root of 9, which is just 3. Oh my gosh, some magic is happening, because what do we know? What happens with the square root and the square? They cancel. And so we left with x plus 3 minus 3, which is x. Wow. Okay, wow. So the whole problem area has now become an x. That's all you're left with on top. Now, it won't be x all the time. Don't get all happy on me. The bottom is still the same. So you're left with x. Now it gets even more, it gets even better. The x's cross out. So now you're left with limit as x approaches 0 of 1 over the square root of x plus 3 plus square root of 3. Substitute your 0. You end up with 1 over square root of 3 plus square root of 3, which is 1 over 2 square root of 3. Boom. Okay, so I know what you're wanting to ask. How do I apply this to another problem? Okay, so what I want you to do is I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to show you the problem you're going to do. Okay, and I'm going to get you started. So let's look at this problem. This is what you're going to do tonight for homework. You're just going to look at this. So 2 minus the square root of x over x minus 4. Alright, when I direct sub, I get 2 minus square root of 4 is 2, so I get 0 over 0. Right? So, taking this, how do I start? What is the conjugate? What do I do? Okay, so it's 2 minus the square root of x over x minus 4. So what's the problem? You can't see that, sorry. The problem is this. The part with the square root. We want to get rid of the square root on top. It's going to shift the square root on to the bottom, kind of like it did in my answer right here. And then we're able to cancel. So shifting, yeah, basically shifting. So what's the conjugate? We take the problem and we change the sign in between. Okay, so this is what I want you to do tonight. Now, don't mess with the bottom. Leave the bottom alone. You're going to FOIL the top. And just see where it takes you. Just see where it takes you. Okay, that's all I got. I'm going to go ahead and pan out so you can see the whole example. And maybe you're thinking, all right, I want to do, well, see, let me see if I can flip it right here for you. Let me see if I can flip it. Hold on, give me just 1 second. Well, I thought, okay, yeah. Alright, so there's the entire example, okay? Right here, you're gonna FOIL, you're gonna FOIL that out on top. You're gonna leave the bottom alone, and then you're gonna see what happens. Try to apply the correct mathematics, and you should be good to go. All right, peace.